Okay guys, what's up? So I'm back. I'm going to be doing a quick insight video. I'm going to try and keep this video to 10 minutes, but I'm not going to lie, it might go to 20 minutes. I'm going to go over Ripple quickly, see where my opinion on Ripple, another kind of Ripple video, where I see Ripple in like 10 years or something. Just kind of try and explain a little bit about it. But I just want to get one thing clear before I start talking about it. I'm not shilling Ripple. I'm not a hater of Ripple. I'm not a Ripple lover. I'm literally telling you what I think. I'm sharing my insights with what I think will happen with Ripple. I'm not saying go and buy it. I'm not saying I love it. Nothing like that. I'm talking from a neutral point of view. Look, Ripple, it's basically like the bank's version of all the blockchain stuff. I mean, it's the only other cryptocurrency that's working with almost as many banks as Ripple is Ethereum itself, which go figure. You can kind of see where this is going with Ripple. Ripple is they're working with like 47 banks in Japan alone. They're working with the Bank of England. They've been doing all types of things. But I'll cut to the chase because I've done Ripple videos before and I'm going to link to it in the little pop-ups as well. So I'm not really going to go too much into it. But where I see Ripple, guys, you got to think SoftBank, Trump. SoftBank and Trump are very pally. And Trump's in office now. I also think that Ripple's here to stay. I think Ripple's got the most potential with Bitcoin and Ethereum to have the largest market cap out of all the cryptocurrencies. Seriously, I do. Because it's got the banks. The banks, I mean, yeah, okay. The banks are going to try and regulate Ripple. Well, they will regulate it, and Ripple's going to be holding 60% of all the Ripple coins as well, so only 30% will be in circulation. Both sides of the coin, similar to like with Dash and the master nodes, how holding the funds, holding the money in a sort of savings position, it will boost the price up because the supply and the circulation is much thinner. But again, is it manipulation? Is it? And I'm referring to Ripple now, not Dash. This isn't a Dash video. Is it? I can see why people don't trust Ripple. I can understand that totally, and I can see why people are quite defensive with Ripple, because it is, after all, working with the banks. Bitcoin represents everything that's opposite from banking. It's not centralized. It's decentralized. It's freedom of money. Freedom money. So yeah, I get it, but from a potential profit point of view, with what Ripple is doing, they're basically building like a platform where transferring large amounts of money across the world in a borderless fashion, like Bitcoin, is basically wire transfers and money transfers. It's reducing so much cost for the banks. It's a no-brainer for the banks to totally pile into this, and that's where I see Ripple going in the long run. I mean, Ripple isn't really going to be for us, the people, I don't think. It's more or less a tool for the banks. Their target audience is the banks. But I've noticed now that Ripple's got this new CEO, Miguel something, I can't remember his last name, their marketing has stepped up a little bit, and they are kind of showing what they're doing a bit more, if you look on their Facebook page. So better marketing is good. It might clear a few things up. But Ripple I think that they're working on cloud payments. They're working on reducing the cost of transactions between banks, and they've got a tool on their site which shows this. I've done a bit of research, and they do drastically reduce the cost of transactions for banks. So Ripple are basically going to be like a Western Union, I would say, but a blockchain version. So my long-term prediction with Ripple is, yeah, it's going to stay around, and I definitely see it going to $1 in at least 10 years' time. at least. We're seeing a lot of tests happening at the moment. We're seeing a lot of we're seeing Ripple being slowly integrating, and so I think we're going to see some big things. A lot of banks are planning to work with Ripple and use the Ripple payment network. Will they use the Ripple currency, XRP, to transaction their value across the network, or will they use their own? That remains to be seen. See, that remains to be seen. And although I think either way, with a larger market capital from investment from banks and usage from banks, and as they become more mainstream, you'll see XRP it'll just rise anyway. Now this, I give it about 10 years. I would give it about 10 years, and then we'll see something very interesting with Ripple. Like, it's dirt cheap at the moment. Even now, even though it's kind of in a pump at the moment, it's still dirt cheap. Do I recommend buying it? That's down to you guys to figure out. But I do see it staying around, and I do see it has a real use case. It has a usage. Just because it's not for the everyday person doesn't mean it doesn't have a use case. And I'm speaking from a logical perspective here. Ripple's use case is with the banks. So it does have a genuine place in the market, a relevant place. Because banks ain't going anywhere anytime soon. If the banks vanish tomorrow night, what's going to happen? So the banks are here to stay for at least a while longer. They're just making their own blockchain. I think we will see in the long run a bridge between Bitcoin and Ripple. I think as Bitcoin grows more and more, I think that the banks are going to accept Bitcoin, like what's happening in Japan, and we will definitely see a bridge between Bitcoin and the bank's version of Bitcoin, which is Ripple. Ripple's got one of the most advanced blockchains out there. I mean, look at the kind of companies that are involved with Ripple. I think we could see Ethereum and Ripple bridge together as well at some point. That could be very interesting. So whether or not you agree with them ethically or through the principle, and I understand that, and I do, I get it. Whether or not you agree with that, on a technological level, you got to think, yeah, that's pretty impressive. They are doing some very impressive things. So yeah, I definitely see Ripple staying around. I think Ripple will be worth a lot more as time goes by. I think they're focused more on stabilizing. They want to be a form of a store of value. They want to be a store of value as well. See, so that's my quick insights on Ripple. I've got a load of other Ripple videos that you guys can watch. Ripple's here to stay. I think Ripple is going to really rock it up. This pump up we're seeing now with Ripple is, I think it's from news and people learning about Ripple's potential, but it's also just a random pump as well. Good morning, have a great day.